Meghan Markle has mastered the art of silence, which can convey more than words ever could. The so-called moon bump theory, which holds that Meghan fabricated her pregnancies with a prosthetic belly, has been around for years, but recently something loud emerged from that silence. Christopher Boozy, the self-proclaimed internet defender of Meghan and head honcho of the Sussex Squad, finally spoke, and not in a small way either. He wrote a full-blown defense piece in Newsweek saying Meghan's life is a nightmare because of these conspiracy theories. The kicker, that's the first time someone in Meghan's inner troll circle publicly acknowledged the rumors even exist now. That changes things because for years, anyone daring to even mention inconsistencies in Meghan's pregnancy story was slammed as hateful or even racist. If you notice the disappearing bump, the odd belly folds, or the bizarre way it moved, you were labeled. But now the Sussex Squad's own spokesman just said the quiet part out loud. And while his intention might have been to shut the conversation down, all he did was light a match. Let's talk about Boozy for a second. This is not some neutral observer weighing in for the first time. This is the same guy who once accused Princess Catherine of faking her cancer video, the same guy who openly mocked William's looks and compared the royal couple to North Korean propaganda, and now we're supposed to believe he's the voice of compassion and reason. Please, this entire thing feels like a calculated damage control attempt, but it's backfiring hard because now the mainstream press is involved. The Daily Mail cover it. Megyn Kelly even admitted she dismissed the rumors at first, but after that infamous twerking pregnancy video, she started to question things. That moment, that clip, which Meghan presumably posted to be playful, had the opposite effect. It didn't silence the critics, it multiplied them. Suddenly, even folks who avoided the subject were squinting a little closer. And let's not pretend this is all some spontaneous pile-on. Meghan could have addressed this years ago. She had countless opportunities to clear the air, release a hospital photo, provide a legitimate birth certificate, or even just conduct a proper timeline interview. Instead, she dodged every opportunity, and now we're being fed emotional appeals instead of facts, leading Boozy to believe that Meghan is being cruelly treated, and that the only reason people doubt her is because they are hateful trolls. However, that narrative falls apart under the weight of her own actions, as Meghan's detractors aren't just rando Twitter accounts. They are doctors, journalists, and even fans who once supported her. The moon bump issue isn't about race. It's about transparency. It's about strange inconsistencies. Boozy may have thought his Newsweek article would make Meghan appear like the victim, but instead it made people ask, if there's truly nothing to hide, why not just show the truth? The more he tries to convince the public that it's all in our heads, the more people start to wake up. This isn't some fringe conspiracy being shouted from basements, it's front-page material. Also, disappearing staff and a birth so secretive even Buckingham Palace seemed perplexed. Because here's the thing, it's not a victory but rather a warning sign when most vocal advocate for your beliefs is also the most vocal online troll. Despite spending years publicly mocking members of the royal family, Christopher Boozy has developed a persona around playing the victim while slinging mud at everyone else. He is not just an ardent fan defending Meghan on Twitter. He has been woven into the official narrative and appeared in Meghan and Harry's Netflix documentary as an unbiased analyst. His remarks about Prince William's appearance, Kate Middleton's appearance, and even Kate's cancer announcement were utterly disgusting, yet he has the gall to accuse others of cruelty. When it comes to the Wales family, Boozy expects the public to forget his own documented behavior. He calls people conspiracy theorists for pointing out inconsistencies, but he's the one making up stories about manipulated videos and photo faking. When he said that Kate's cancer video looked like North Korean propaganda, did he not realize how that discredits any moral high ground he might think he has? It's not just bad optics. It exposes a strategy deflecting from Meghan's controversies by creating new ones around everyone else. Then there is the race card, which Boozy loves to play. It's labeled racism, but it's a dangerous game because not all criticism of Meghan is based on her behavior. Sometimes it's just behavior. The problem isn't the color of her skin. Rather, it's the fact that she always dodges it, spins it, or places the blame on someone else. Boozy would be encouraging Meghan to be a strong, honest role model for young girls of color if he truly cared about racial issues. Instead, he covers up inconsistencies and throws tantrums on her behalf, which is not activism, but rather PR damage control. Let's face it, if Meghan had just quietly left the royal family and lived her life, this obsession wouldn't have existed. At first, most people were thrilled about her accession to the monarchy. There was genuine goodwill, but what followed was chaos and secretive births. Private letters from Oprah that were released to the media expressing outrage over accusations of racism were followed by extensive interview backtracking. And then there was Spare, a book that revealed so much personal information that it made soap operas throughout the day look inconspicuous. This is a woman who desires narrative control, rather than seclusion. The moon bump theory isn't about a crazy conspiracy. Rather, it's about unanswered questions about a woman who skipped the customary procedures and gave birth in mysterious circumstances that even palace insiders seem perplexed by. When Buckingham Palace began making incoherent, delayed statements, people began to pay attention, not because they wanted to destroy her, but because they sensed something wasn't adding up. Now we're being told repeatedly that asking those questions makes us evil. Accuse critics of racism and call them trolls. Never address the real issues being brought up. Boozy isn't helping Meghan by standing up for her in this manner. On the contrary, each time he speaks, he makes matters worse. More individuals. Wait a minute, what if there's some truth to it? Ask yourself as you watch the video again and examine the pictures. Because that's how these stories spread, not from shady blogs or Reddit threads, but from defenders who go so far as to unintentionally confirm the suspicion they were trying to dispel. Boozy wants to act like this is all because Meghan dared to marry a prince, but let's not get it twisted. Meghan isn't just some innocent duchess caught in a storm. She's been driving the weather, making strategic decisions at every turn, from the sit-down with Oprah to the Netflix deal to launching a wine line on Princess Diana's birthday. This has never been about being a quiet royal. It's always about brand. Meghan presents herself as a victim while profiting from the very institution she allegedly left behind. She claims to despise royal titles but uses them as a branding tool. If she hadn't made herself the focus of every headline, most people would have ignored her. Her recent rose wine stunt, in which she launched a vanity product on Diana's birthday and presented it as a tribute that wasn't just tone-deaf but was calculated, made people love Diana because she visited AIDS patients when no one else would have. She held the hands of the sick and the poor without cameras in her face. In addition to the Invictus Game farce, in which Prince Harry allegedly invited his father and brother by going to the media before even sending a formal email, it is manipulative, disgusting, and infuriates people, especially those who truly adore Diana, for the right reasons. That is a trap, not an olive branch. The same pattern applies. Generate drama, control the narrative, then look wounded when things don't go your way. This is a PR ambush because he wanted headlines about reconciliation rather than real reconciliation. The unfortunate thing is that Meghan could have written a different story. She had the platform, the attention, and the goodwill. If she had chosen authenticity over image, humility over spin, things might have turned out very differently. However, she chose to go the route of control and manipulation, and that path doesn't end in sympathy. It ends in backlash. Meghan and Harry don't want to heal the family rift. They want to manage the optics around it, and people see through that now. This is why the entire moon bump controversy is sticking, because it's just one piece of a much larger puzzle. It represents everything that never quite lined up. Secrecy, contradictions, and the way Meghan weaponizes victimhood while never taking responsibility for the chaos. Boozy can claim conspiracy theories all he wants, but the internet has videos, receipts, and unanswered questions, and until they are, this won't go away. Not because people are mean, but because people care about the truth. If Meghan's camp doesn't provide it, then perhaps they are concealing something, which is the issue with lies. When every action appears manufactured, every critique is called an enemy, and every story becomes more dramatic than the last, they ultimately run out of runway. People stop believing you, not because they are hateful, but because they are human, and people don't appreciate being played.